With a spark, an idea, promise, or collaboration, a flame is ignited and ideas grow into reality. Coffee is a catalyst for thoughts, a common ground for strangers, a comfort to the weary, and a source of income for over 120 million people worldwide. Coffee-growing communities are also one of the most forgotten societies in the entire world. In January of 2015, a group of coffee companies visited Chiapas, Mexico to check up on their trade partners and witness the launch of a water project by the nonprofit organization On the Ground Global. Their goal is to support sustainable community development in coffee farming communities by partnering with the communities, donors, and other NGOs to build lasting infrastructure. This makes it possible for these communities to create real and meaningful prosperity because it provides them with the tools to be able to care for themselves. On the trip, 4 companies, River Rock Coffee, Amavida Coffee, Kickapoo Coffee, and Higher Grounds Trading Company, discuss their mission for the coffee industry and the various ways they are able to better represent coffee farmers. If every coffee company would make it a priority to find ways to give back to its community, employees, and trade partners, we can make the world a better place to live.
We're looking at the world of coffee as a circular economic model that begins at and returns to farmers and communities at origin. Obviously, this is where coffee comes from. We're standing in this place where coffee is grown and is produced, and this has to be here in order for us to exist as coffee companies. But if you go around the circle, you move from that farmer at origin to an importer, you move to a roaster, then you move perhaps to a wholesaler / retailer, maybe a coffee bar or cafe situation where that retail transaction takes place. And then oftentimes in the coffee world, that's kind of where we stop looking at it. We think, okay, it's in the customer gets the coffee and that's it. And then we go back and we start again. We start with the coffee again. But if you continue the circle and the transaction continues into the community, it becomes a community connection, not only with passing over a cup of coffee or a bag of beans, but stories of farmers and stories of those community connections, informing and educating and engaging with the community. And then that moves into a nonprofit organization that actually, generates donations from the community and generates additional engagement focused on the farmers. And then that money that is, fundraised, generated, then goes back into those nonprofit organizations, which deliver it essentially back to those communities. So it's a full cycle that then continues.
Project Chiapas works to fund water systems using appropriate technology for each community. We just kicked off a project in the community of Matías Castellanos, where, similar to the majority of farming communities, women and children are given the daily task of collecting the family's water needs, while the men are tending to the field. The women and children currently spend 4 to 6 hours in this community gathering water from a well outside of the village. The problem being, this well is contaminated, and the water level is greatly reduced during the dry season, making it impossible to use part of the year. This is why these projects are invaluable. Water is the most important source of life, and without it, these communities are unable to thrive.
So we took a pretty long walk. It was only about a mile, but it felt way longer, up steep cliffs and down across rivers and over branches to a water source. And we were just thinking about how difficult that would be to have to do that every day, 4 to 6 hours out of your day spent just to get clean water. And a lot of times it's not even really clean. So bringing that back to our communities, we are going to be able to fundraise a lot harder and just really complete the circle.
power of community has really shown me that we can do a lot more than we think we can as a group of people. When you educate people and tell them about things that you're involved in and give them a tangible thing to look at, say a water project that we're working on right now, and show them that they have a way that they can positively impact lives across the world through those decisions, I think it becomes a really easy way to give back and make bigger impacts with small decisions. You might just think that you're buying a cup of coffee to enjoy for the day, but really those decisions matter. Then our roasters can buy more from the co-ops can buy more from the farmers, and the farmers are able to provide for their families, and that really just creates a better world to live with. And who doesn't want that? I mean, it's an easy decision for us in America, in our shops, in our cafes. I think it's really important too as baristas that we communicate that to our customers too. So we have to share what we know, otherwise there's just no point to it. Everything's lost. It all needs to be translated back to the consumers so that they can complete that decision again.
A couple of years ago at Amavida Coffee, we set up a wooden coin campaign because we wanted to educate our customers and get them involved with the projects we work with. So basically we said that if our customers brought in a reusable cup for their daily coffee, we would give them a wooden coin that they could place in a donation bucket in our cafes. We then donate 20 cents per wooden coin to the on-the-ground project of their choice, and we save a whole lot of paper cups in the process. It's really a great way to get our customers involved and to treat the environment better in the process. While we were all on this trip, we decided to name this idea Project Chispa. Chispa means spark in Spanish, and we just wanted this to start a fire in the coffee industry and change the perception of the way cafes and roasteries should be run. This is truly the way we believe it should be, and coffee producers should be partners, and there should be a friendship there. And then coffee buying can develop into so much more. It can be an avenue for communities to provide for themselves and not need aid. It's just about being fair and treating your partners well.